Mujin just made a new video, so we're gonna be reacting to it real quick because why the hell not? It's art related, and we like art, and it's also someone's career getting ended, so woohoo! Yabada! Anyway, this is the basically the downfall of Gomiwaan. Me not know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to suffer with that. Gomiwaan? Obi-Wan Kenobi? Gomiwaan Kenobi? Okay. I know nothing. We're gonna go with Gomiwaan Kenobi? Okay. We're gonna go with Gomiwaan Kenobi. We're gonna suffer with the fact that we're just gonna call this person Gomiwaan Kenobi from now on. Anyway.
Human ingenuity is what allowed our species to overcome our biggest challenges through creativity and resourcefulness. It's what allowed our very distant ancestors to make the discovery of fire, and it's what most recently gave us access to the forbidden skies.
I'm sorry, I'm just hearing the Psyche K music in the background. I'm vibing to the Psyche K music in the background. Gotta love me some Psyche K.
Allowing us to fly. And while throughout history there are many different examples of these incredible discoveries, it is in my humble opinion that our best discovery yet is probably pastries. That's right.
Nom
Whether
nom
that
nom
be
nom nom
a
nom
pain au
nom nom
chocolat,
nom.
croissant, beignet, éclair, you name it,
Nom
there
nom
are
nom
very
nom
few
nom nom
things
nom nom.
that can compare. And while France is easily the best place in the world to get any type
Ah,
of pastry, its residents, more specifically over
the
the last few
French.
years, would have to come face to face with this industry's biggest, darkest secret.
Oh.
Industrial pastries, more notably the croissant.
No.
Now look, this was a big deal. When you're going to a bakery, the expectation is that you'd be receiving something made in-house in the morning, fresh, delivered right into your hands. These bakeries, though, were
But
selling these pre-frozen pastries under the guise of them being fresh, without giving any indication or disclaimer that they're pre-frozen, essentially
fucking
scamming you.
eyelash
I
in
mean,
my
this was
eye.
scandalous. It even led to the creation of a new label that certifies that, hey, this bakery actually does everything by hand. We don't use
Wow.
frozen products. Because at the end of the day,
I did not
it
know
doesn't
any
take
of
a genius
this.
to understand this problem. Why would I pay the same exact price?
Damn
Sometimes
shit
even
happening
more
in
for something
France.
that's pre-frozen when I could just use that same money to buy something made fresh in the morning?
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
consumer, this didn't make any damn sense. That's simple to understand, right? Well, apparently, to some artists these days, this concept cannot get through their thick skulls for some reason. And when I say artists, I'm talking specifically about Gami, an artist that started her activities 6 years ago and was well known in the VTuber community, all while being someone who very staunchly and publicly constantly opposed AI usage in art, calling out anyone who dared to use AI with their art or who faked the fact that they actually drew it. In fact, she would go even further and would draw an entire meme saying, maybe I make ugly drawings, but at least I don't use AI. And guess what? This post would go absolutely viral, but not because of the meme itself. It would go viral because of the very humiliating community note that would be
Nice.
attached to it, destroying
Unironically, I love community notes. Shit like this happens. It's so good.
any ounce of her reputation in one day. And that's
Haha.
without mentioning the 2 Google Docs that were written about her. Now look, I've made a lot of videos
Two.
of people getting community noted
Two.
on Twitter, okay? But
Two.
this right here might be the
Two.
most
Okay.
merciless one yet. This is why I figured we had to talk about it. Now, without further ado, let's do this. Alright, so let's get one thing straight. Tracing has been a problem in the arts community for many years, even before
Yeah.
ChatGPT and other AI
Yeah.
tools came out. The arts community consensus about tracing was that it was okay if you were trying to learn, but immoral if you were trying to make it seem like it was your own work. And we didn't really need AI for that to be a problem. In fact, one could go back as recently as November 9th, 2025, when Hisashi Iguchi, one of the most well-renowned artists in Japan, would be exposed as having traced for, well, his entire fucking career. This guy's drawings were top of the game. You'd find them in exhibitions, you'd have companies hiring him to make posters out of them, and yet it turned out that the drawing he had made for the Chualine Culture Festival in 2025 was nothing more than him taking the picture of a woman on social media and just tracing over it. Quickly afterwards, people would start analyzing his past work, and it would turn out to not be an isolated incident. The guy has been doing this for his entire career, taking
Oh
pictures all over
my
the internet or
god.
by photographers and just claiming that it was something that came from his own head. This is very significant because even before the widespread use of AI, it could have very easily.
Bro, even the dude in the back. Even the dude with his hand up to his chin. They even got the dude in the back with his hand up. Bro.
Taken any of these images that he had taken, put them through some drawing filter, and
I
made it
have
seem
never
like he
heard
drew
of
it
this man.
himself, okay? The inherent problem with tracing, or hell, you can call it just
I've
cheating,
never heard of
is
this
that
man.
it's very easily detectable if it's done by an amateur, but very hard to prove if it's done by someone who actually knows how to draw.
That's very
This has
true.
always been the case. And while we could, to a certain extent, cross-reference images that were traced before AI, that is no longer the case. Because
Yeah.
just about anyone can just generate any image they want, and it would be a unique image, one that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yep.
So even if someone does trace, you can't prove it by cross-referencing their illustration to the original image.
Yep.
You have to prove it in other ways, and that typically requires a lot of effort, most notably, well, a Google Doc. This is where Gomi comes in, an artist that has been active for the last 6 years and also happens to stream as a VTuber. She grew her following like, well, most artists would, drawing well-known VTubers and content creators, as well as participating in viral art trends. This would lead her to get followed by many of these VTubers.
Participating in viral art trends. Now listen, I would do that if my artwork did not take me a fucking century to do. I would join in an art trend if I could, but art trends just fucking vanish so fast in such a short amount of time nowadays. I'm sorry, I can't just accomplish a whole fucking trend in like a whole 24 hours. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I need longer. But next thing I know, I'm gonna finish it, and then the trend's just gonna die out, and I join, and it's gonna be like, oh damn, you're still, people are still doing this. I want to join art trends that I do find enjoyable, but the issue is they die out so fast. And we do not have the mentality to do it that fast. We can do art fast in general, but like we don't have the mentality to do it that goddamn fast. Do a whole fucking art trend in 24 hours? I'd rather die.
That she drew, okay? Some of them very big. And as an artist, if you get followed by some of these top guys, well, you get legitimized. People look at you and think,
Can we acknowledge the fact that Gomi is following Mujin? Can we acknowledge that? I just registered that. Gomiwaan Kenobi is following Mujin.
oh, well, if this person follows them, then they must be an actual real artist that does work on time, right? Gomi would of course understand this, which would then lead her to open up her commissions. This is where VGen comes in, a website that gained huge prominence within the VTuber community, but now pretty much exists for just about anyone. What makes it unique is that it doesn't support any sort of AI usage, doesn't sell user data, and doesn't display ads. It also happens to be very exclusive. In order to create an account to sell things on the platform, you need a code. That referral code can only be acquired in one of 6 different ways. But getting a code is only the first hurdle. After you actually create your account, you have to go through multiple criteria in order to get verified by an actual, real human being that will make sure that you are legit. And guess who had an account on VGen? Gomi.
Fun fact. If Gomiwaan Kenobi was given a code by someone else, and their account gets suspended, I don't know if it's been suspended right now. I don't know if their account's gone. We could check. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna check on that actually. Like, but my point that I'm saying still stands. If Gomiwaan Kenobi was given an artist code by someone else, and their account gets or has been suspended because of all of this, then the person who gave them the code is going to be in severe fucking trouble. Anyway, Gomiwaan? Gomiwaan? Wah? 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 Oh! They've been suspended! Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, look at that. They've been suspended. This account has been suspended for violating VGen's terms and policies. Oh, looky there. Hmm. Yeah, so my point definitely stands now. If they were given a artist code by someone else, then that person's gonna be in severe trouble. So, yay! Their account is suspended. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Suck a dick. Oh wait, don't do that. Some dicks are actually nice. Have those really skanky wanky ass dicks that you see in Rule 34 images sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? Those skanky ass dicks that you see in Rule 34 images with all like that yellow shit all over them. Take that penis. Suck it.
She'd be charging up to $60 for a basic colored sketch.
$30 for an emote? $30? For not even a custom emote. It's a your character here emote.
$30.
One second, I actually don't know conversions myself. 1 second. Eight. $8. Okay. Mine is 8 in American. 30. 1 second, I'm gonna get a migraine from that knowledge. $30. $30 for a singular your character here emote. Actually, better question. How much is that in Great British Pounds? How much was it again, specifically? 29.31. £21.84 for a singular emote that's not even custom. A singular emote? Is it obvious I probably will never achieve this level of whatever the fuck this is? I don't think I'm ever going to achieve that level of money for a singular emote. I'm sorry, I'm a little gobsmacked by that. My god.
For a Twitch emote and $150 for a square sized.
I'm sorry. $125 for your character here of elbow? Just an elbow? Now the description is giving a bit more context where it says, "Can you touch your elbows together?" So it's basically that thing. And given the fact that it's content warning with suggestive content, it's definitely female only. Where you do that thing where you put your elbows together but you put your elbows together underneath your tits, so your tits get squished together. It's that sort of thing. But $125. I am for your character here that I don't even know if it's rendered or it's just a sketch or if it's flat colored. I I'm never going to achieve this level of money. Holy crap. I'm never going to achieve this level of money from one thing alone. Holy shit. Oh my god. For an icon? $150 for an icon? For a bust? I think I'm going to have an aneurysm. Okay.
Image meant to be used as a profile picture on
Okay.
social media. These prices just so happen to be industry standard, okay? There's nothing crazy about them.
I mean, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, it's industry standard. It's not crazy at all. It's totally not gobsmacking my brain right now. Oh my god.
Some people charge more. But when you pay $150 for a profile picture, you're expecting to, get something made by a human being.
Yeah.
That was what people thought they were getting. In fact, on January 28th, 2026, Gami would make sure to push this idea to her audience and anyone who might see this post on Twitter. She'd post this very simple meme saying, "Maybe I make ugly drawings, but at least I don't use AI." One of the replies to her post would be some really terrible AI slop. She'd make sure to reply to it with vomiting emojis. And here's the deal, right? This post for almost more than 20 days would have no community note. Gami would go on to continue posting art and living her life. She could have never expected that on February 18th, 2026, the user Ruru would quote tweet that meme she made about how she didn't use AI and would say, "Yeah, about that. Gami has been using AI in her workflow and selling commissions. Read." Linking a Google Doc.
Oh.
It will be around
So this is the
16
first one.
pages long, and I have to say,
I'm sorry. 16 pages. It appears to be documented well, sorted nicely, sorted deliciously, and even has a disclaimer, and even has main and alt accounts linked, and even states it's best to be read on desktop. The formatting is broken on mobile. This, in my opinion, of sudden snobbiness, I don't know where this snobbiness has come from, is absolutely delicious formatting. This is, in my honest opinion, edible as fuck. Anyway, I don't know why I went snobbish there for a moment. Okay.
Okay, look, I love these.
Yes. I'm London.
Artist dramas because this Google Doc is, of course, very well formatted, as you would expect. It would start off with disclaimer.
Oh, thank you.
Do not send hate to Gami. This is merely for informing potential supporters and commissioners of the dishonesty about her workflow, including generative AI. This document and Gami's accounts contain suggestive/NSFW content. Great. I'm going to have a lot of fun censoring this video. So look, this document mentions something very important in the beginning. The reason why this is such a big deal is because this person, Gami, was charging money while using AI. This is very dishonest.
Yeah.
When you're paying an artist money, you're hiring them for their talent.
Yeah.
Not for what some generative machine can make out of a million convoluted.
Yeah. You're charging for the artwork that you believe is human made, not for the generative AI bullshit. Unless, you're one of those dumbasses. What the fuck is find a page? Shut your bitch ass up. Unless you're one of those stupid AI, Gen AI bros, then what the fuck are you doing on my accounts, first of all? What the fuck? Why are you on my account, first of all? Second of all, if you're unless you're an AI bro, then you're gonna want a human made thing. If you want generative AI, then then you like sucking sloppy toppy but AI, robotic sloppy toppy. That sort of thing. Fucking vacuum that shit up. I don't know, man. Fucking vacuum the fuck up on that robo dick. Hop on that robo dick and start bouncing on it, and start woohoo! Shamalama, let's go. Cowabunga.
The drawings that it stole off the internet. The next part here would be introduction. First things first, please read knowing Gami herself has admitted to using AI in her work.
Oh!
Back in December 30th, 2024,
Got
someone
that?
would DM her, Gami, are you using AI as reference for your art? To which she would reply, I do sometimes, yes, but I draw them again with my own two hands, lol. I don't like taking them as literal references. Okay, cool.
It's like that one person that my friend found on VGen that they've reported that was literally gotten a fucking. They linked their Tumblr, and I looked for their Tumblr. One of the Anon asks, hey, do you trace? They went, yeah! They basically just went, yeah, I trace. Borderline, basically. Oh, and I was like, no, I don't do it anymore. And it's just like, we're looking at their VGen that my friend has reported, and we're just going, yes, you definitely don't trace anymore. Yes, you're definitely not using traced examples in your services. Yes. Yes. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Guess we're done. I mean, why is there 17 pages here? This is it. I mean, what else do you want? Well, I guess we'll find out. The document continues, now with this in mind, I will show you why I think she wasn't only using references here and there, but one-to-one referencing or possibly tracing for a lot of her viral artworks. And also that she sells commissions using AI without disclosing it to this day. I will document her dated posts and artworks as well as conversations with her. This is where we get to the next section titled Documentation. Gami joined my Discord server around the start of
Oh my god. I'm gonna have a fucking orgasm from how great this document has been formatted. I'm gonna have a fucking orgasm. Look at this red section. It's definitely Mujin's definitely gonna say it, but like, goddamn, I'm gonna have a fucking ha. But like, the messages are in Turkish, but you have translations. Translations are in purple. Some parts are blurred due to privacy of third parties and to not bring back past drama that has already been settled. This document is formatted so deliciously well. Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
October 2025. Shortly after, some of my members messaged me privately to warn me about her AI usage and her past drama, since I don't allow Gen AI in my server. I didn't want to assume things, so I took a good look at Gami's artworks and then decided it was best to ask her directly than to jump to conclusions. The messages are in Turkish, but you will have translations. Translations are in purple. Some parts are blurred due to privacy of third parties and to not bring back past drama that has already been settled. Alright, so here we can see Ruru asking in Turkish, 3 things were brought up to me, and the people who brought them up will remain anonymous to avoid creating any drama. I think they mentioned these issues because they became worried when they saw that you joined my server and they felt the need to warn me. So the first 2 issues are blurred, I guess they have nothing to do with this drama, and then the third one is, the last issue is the claim that you are tracing using AI. Of course, there's no proof of that, and proving it is almost impossible these days. It's because both Clip Studio and Procreate have a feature to hide the reference layer when speed painting. I looked at your drawings a bit. Even though we follow each other, I'd never actually stalked your drawings before, and I personally found a few of your drawings suspicious, which is why I wanted to ask you. If you want, I can show you the reasons for my suspicions through the drawings, and we can discuss it in more detail. This is when Gami would reply with, the AI tracing issue also arose because I was heavily referencing. I'm constantly sharing how I draw in the process anyway. I stopped referencing heavily quite a while ago. The document would continue.
I stopped heavily referencing, and now I have switched to full-on tracing.
Since she claimed she stopped heavily referencing quite a while ago, I showed her some of her recent illustrations that I found suspicious. So in this drawing, we can see some sort of a puppy girl laying down on the bed, and the feet look very oddly suspicious, as if made by AI. Ruru also felt the need to mention
Damn, that middle toe is so chunky. Look how chunky that middle toe is. It's blocky. Yo! Oh my god, did it? Oh my goodness, no! It took Steve's toe from Minecraft. Yo, this puppy girl stole his toes. What the fuck?
even to this day, this drawing remains the banner of her Patreon, right? And I mean, seriously, like,
It's
these
right
feet
there.
look very AI-like.
Let's zoom in on these feet real quick. Enhance, motherfucker! Enhance them more! I actually really hate feet, so this joke is really funny.
Very suspicious. Ruru would then say she deleted this art post after this conversation, but still uses it as her banner on Patreon. I raised my concerns about how her
Suspicious.
anatomy knowledge and coloring skills didn't match. Some parts, like feet and hands, are drawn messily despite the rest having pretty good anatomy. This is common with AI tracers/users. Her art skills also suddenly spiked after some point. This led me to believe these art pieces weren't only referenced, but one-to-one or traced. So on the left, we can see a drawing made by Gami on September 2024. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's decent. It's nothing like incredible, right? It's not something that will belong in a gallery anytime soon, but it is what it is. However,
Yes, I switched up from doing this art style to this art style, and whole ass booty in your face.
3 months later, on
Booty.
December 2024,
Booty.
she would make a fan
Booty.
art of Yaklesh, a well-known artist and VTuber. And here we can truly see the incredible difference. This is progress that usually takes place over years, and there she was, just, making it look easy, as if she just learned everything in 3 months. We also see another example of a drawing that looks really good, but the fingers are just
Bro, blur that face as a whole. Holy shit. Blur that face. Oh god, let me just. Yo, 1 second, let me just use my tail.
weird, something that AI infamously does all the damn time. The document then continues. Artists will probably understand that the drawing above, now deleted, has pretty good anatomy overall, yet the same level of skill doesn't apply to the hand. This issue is common in her drawings. She also came to my server a couple times to share her screen while drawing to prove herself, but she never sketched something from scratch. It was always something that was already drawn and halfway colored. She then sent me a speed paint as proof, but the speed paint didn't have a sketch and she drew things mostly without guidelines. For example, drawing the lines for the legs without a guide and other similar things. It was not very convincing, as you can just hide the reference layer and pretend
Yep.
like you drew it. So that's another thing with tracers, right?
Yeah.
The idea that they just draw things
Yeah.
out of thin air. When even
Yeah, and going back to the exact same user on VGen that my friend reported while we were both investigating them, because we are both snoopy as fuck. I think I'm more snoopier than my friend when it comes to this shit, which is so funny because they're the person who has found more of these bullshitters than I have. Yeah, the moment they go, yo, I found another one, I go into absolute snoop mode and find out as much as I can about this person. With everything that they provide publicly from their VGen, I go into absolute snoop mode. This person also had their TikTok linked. And they too had quote unquote speed paints that always started after the sketch was completed. Always. Remember, this person's a tracer, and one of the things that they traced was AI generation. Not all of them was AI generated traced, but at least one of them was found to be traced from AI.
some of the best artists in the world will still use reference layers.
Yeah.
They don't immediately just draw a face and eyes like it's nothing. No, they'll actually take the time to reference where everything will be and then do that. I then showed her art on the
Oh,
right.
Lord have mercy. Titties. Oh, titties and booty. Oh, titties and ass crack. Oh, God. Oh, God forbid. The asshole.
Damn, I gotta censor that. Saying drawing something like this requires a lot of skill, and people who draw in color like she did on the left cannot draw like the right picture too at the same time. These two drawings are a few months apart despite there being a huge skill gap. So again, the same thing we saw in 2024, we're seeing again in 2025. In August, she would draw something that clearly has bad anatomy, right? If we're talking about the elbow and the hand, as well as amateur-like coloring compared to the one on her right, which was posted just a few months
Tits,
later and
tits,
looks
tits, tits.
insane. This is what you
That's just a lot of tits. That's just so much titty, 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 booba, breast, hunkers, shoulder boulders.
get after like drawing for 10 years, man. It's wild. And it's a shame that you can't really fully see it. Sorry, it's YouTube, not me. She then kept insisting that she knows how to draw, arguing she has traditional art she can show. And here we can see yet another conversation in Turkish between Ruru and Gami taking place in October 2025 after Gami had posted that very interesting drawing that I had to censor. Ruru would say, I repeat, this isn't about not being able to draw. That's why it's harder to distinguish when artists use it. But for example, when we go back in your gallery, there aren't any anatomy drawings like this or close to it. It's as if you suddenly drew it so well. Especially if you go back to before the year AI became widespread, the drawings look quite different. It might be one of the drawings you heavily referenced, as you said. It might be referenced from AI. To which Gami would say, yes, I'm referencing AI. The document would continue. Here she admits to referencing AI for her work again. She doesn't disclose this on her VGen or any of her socials. It's well known that using AI in any way isn't accepted by VGen. She also sells commissions there, meaning she has been and still is selling AI-assisted artwork without disclosing it. So far, she had admitted to using AI for references. I asked to see the references she used to check for tracing. Here we can see Ruru saying, can I see the reference used for this image? Gami would reply with, I don't save the photos, Ruru, sad face. To which Ruru would say, using a one-to-one reference isn't good either because it's not much different from tracing. To which Gami would say, I realized that too. After that, I completely removed that incident, which is referencing, from my life. Now I just pose in my head and use 3D models. Ruru would then say, it looks like you're regretting using heavy references. Gami would say, no, seriously, being called AI really hurt my pride. Ruru says, if you take a one-to-one reference from AI, it's perfectly normal for people to say that it looks like AI because it becomes AI indirectly. That's when Gami would say, I never thought of it that way because I drew it myself, but you're right. The document would continue and say she didn't have any references to show, and here she says she thought because she redrew the AI pictures, it still meant it was her own art. Despite all that, it looked like she regretted using AI in her workflow. But even after saying she stopped and being associated with AI hurt her pride, she still had drawings that were AI assisted posted on her socials like Twitter, VGen, and Patreon, of course undisclosed. I felt like she wasn't being honest. This is where we see their Discord conversation continuing with Ruru asking, but if this situation upsets you and bothers you so much, why are these drawings still on your page? People who see them can just dismiss them as AI. Gami would reply to this saying, I don't usually have a habit of deleting posts. Sad face. I generally post them and then forget they exist. But you're right, it would be good if I delete.
Stop with the fucking sad face. Sad face. Sad face. Bitch, you know what you're doing. Shut your ass up.
This is when Ruru would link one of her arts and say, and for example, even though you said you stopped taking heavy references, a post of yours from May 2025. The no-name fan art looks like it's referenced. Unless you decided to stop using AI 2 to 3 months ago or so, this post makes your claim about you quitting using AI not convincing, because you posted the AI referenced art for personal promotion. Gami would reply and say, I talked to No Name about the situation too, I explained myself, I also apologized if it looked that way. Ruru would specify in the document in parentheses, she did not apologize, confirmed with No Name. Gami would then say, and yes, I quit about 2 months ago, to which Ruru in the document in parentheses would say, which means she says she quit using AI in August 2025. Gami would end this conversation by saying, I understand how it looks, I'll remove the images I heavily referenced, I don't want to look like an artist who uses AI. The document continues and says she then went to her profile and deleted some of her artwork on her Twitter, but she did not delete any from her VGen and Patreon, which should be prioritary since it's where clients look. So here you go. Under pressure, she decided to delete the very AI-inspired artworks from her Twitter, but not from the platforms where people pay her money to draw. So essentially, she did nothing to fix the situation. So Ruru in the document would continue with
Bitch, fuck you. You know that one video where it's just like, I don't know what they're talking to, but it's like two people on a call with, I think it's an animal. It's just like, hi, do you love me? It's just like, yes, I miss you. And then it goes to, Safi, do you love me? Bitch, no, fuck you, bitch. This is me right now. Preach? No. Fuck you.
She said she stopped. So why did I make this document? I wanted to trust her, so I let this matter go for a while, hoping for a good change. But recently, I came across some of her posts on my Twitter feed and wanted to check. I saw that her VGen still had verified commissions that had AI involved in the workflow in her portfolio, and she posted suspicious art again on her socials. She said she regretted using AI and did delete some of her most recent AI-assisted works from Twitter/X. She said she stopped in August 2025. But to this day, she still uses AI on some of her commissions in her VGen portfolio and still posts on her alt. She's also running a Patreon where she shares her NSFW art, which is also AI assisted. This is one of her most recent YCH commissions on VGen, September 19th, 2025. This was created long before August and has the same skill gap as the examples above, so I'm positive this is AI assisted. She deleted this YCH offer on VGen, yet still does commissions with this YCH to this day. So listen, just if you're curious, YCH means your character here, so they're custom commissions. One offer she had on her page was YCH elbow, right? So your character here with your character trying to touch their elbows. And you know, if someone with big boobs tries to touch their elbows, yeah, I think you get the point. This is why it's
Titty squish.
So here we'd see 3 different YCH arts, okay? I have to definitely censor that nipple, okay? I'm saying this just to remind myself when I edit, but overall the whole point is that all 3 of these art pieces were done after August 2025, and they're very heavily AI inspired. Oh my god, I actually know this VTuber. This is Alien Mixture, man. The document continues. She was posting previews to gather her audience.
Lord have mercy!
Doesn't look like her real art, so most likely
I just registered it in my brain.
her posting on Twitter this sketch, right? 1 hour sketch, by the way. Saying remove the pasties on Patreon. So if you go subscribe to her Patreon, you'll get to see this art fully nude. This was the appeal. And it's still up on her Patreon to this day, even after this document came out. The document would continue. She also posted that she at least doesn't use AI, with frequently posted anti-AI content as well. So here we can see
the cat
the
meme
she made about how she doesn't use AI even though she makes ugly drawings. And we can see multiple different tweets she made targeting AI users, calling them out, and saying things like, an artist with a trained eye can notice you tracing over AI. Just a heads up. If you can normally draw, why are you tracing AI? You look like...
An artist with a trained eye can notice you tracing over AI. Yeah, trained eye for tracing over AI.
A sore loser. This is AI and the artist is lying. Do not be deceived. Unless they show an actual time-lapse, I'm not stupid and your sketch is not a sketch. Always the AI sloppers. Even including a drawing of her character with the shirt saying, fuck AI. The document would then say, she made this time-lapse post while still using AI in her workflow. She claimed to quit AI during August 2025, but this was posted on June 17th. Fuck AI, but still use it? So here we can see a 15-second time-lapse of this drawing with her character saying fuck AI on the shirt. And I mean, it's very, very clear here, right? That she's just drawing as if she's tracing. There's no reference whatsoever. It's like she's a genius that knows exactly where to place the eyes, the mouth, everything without making a single mistake, right? Without any hint that this is actually a real drawing, as if she's completely tracing an invisible layer here. Again, I really have to show you what an actual real time-lapse looks like, okay? I already used this example before in another video, and I'll do it again.
It's a juicy
It's this
artwork.
right here, and this is its time-lapse. So as you can see, it's a very messy process, right? Nothing is set in stone until the very, very end. Things are constantly moving, getting scaled, getting cut. This is what a real time-lapse looks like. And with Gomi's time-lapse, we're not seeing that at all. A day before posting that very interesting time-lapse...
Lord have mercy! Lord have mercy!
16th, she'd post some,
Lord.
let's just say a cat girl sucking on something, right, on her alt account where she posted NSFW.
Penis.
And someone would just straight up reply and say, this is AI made, don't call it art. The document would say, some people could already recognize the AI and call her out sometimes. This is how my Discord members knew because the Turkish community is small, word spreads fast about dramas like this. She was already known to use AI in the Turkish community. This is when we get to the next section. I will now show the DM shown in the document's introduction.
Okay.
This is when I reached out to No Name. Gomi had told me that she had apologized to No Name about the fan art she did for her that looked like AI. Here are her DMs with No Name. The character she was drawing has very, in all caps, big boobs, like F-cup big. She didn't seem inclined to change her sketch, using a weird excuse that doesn't make sense, possibly because the reference she's using had small breasts. No Name noticed how Gomi's art quality didn't match her previous art and how she wasn't willing to do changes like boob size. These red flags led No Name to confront Gomi.
No, that's fucking weird. Yes, I must use an AI reference. The AI in question somehow fucks up the tits to be tiny instead of hongamonga.
Gami, which then resulted in Gami
Where's my
being more
breast
abusive.
expansion
This fan
kink,
art was posted on the
bro?
29th of December 2024, now deleted. So even before the confrontation, right, this was December 27th, 2024, Gami would send a sketch to No Name, and No Name would say, "Oh, Gami, what is your secret? How are you speeding like that? But Booba should be bigger." 3 days later, No Name would realize that, wait a second, this actually looks way better than Gami's usual drawings, and would ask the question, "Gami, are you using AI as reference for your art?" After Gami would admit that, No Name would say, "Make sure to use different references as well, otherwise you can accidentally train yourself doing the same mistakes AI does, LMAO." To which Gami would say, "I would rather slip on ice than do AI mistakes on my own human-made art. I would never, LMAO."
Yeah.
No Name
Yeah.
was not informed until they asked. There isn't an apology as Gami claimed either. No Name does not support AI and states it publicly, so Gami made fan arts using AI for No Name, knowing they're against it. That's why No Name asked if Gami was using AI, since they also found Gami's art suspicious and wanted to check with her. All the artwork that was done for No Name is now deleted from Gami's profile. So look, so far, this already looks pretty damn bad for Gami, alright? But this
Yeah.
next section that we're about to look at is titled Artwork Comparison, and I think you can
Oh
kind of tell
no.
what we're about to get into here. This is where the document takes an in-depth look at showing us what her art used to look like before AI and
Ooh,
how
yay,
much
this
it
is
differed
fun.
after AI. I need to censor that nipple again, just saying that for editing purposes. I cannot forget this. Anyway, this section would start with why I think Gami isn't only referencing, but referencing one-to-one or possibly tracing to this day. We get 3 reasons. The first one would be her art skills without using AI are vastly different from AI-assisted ones. The second one, she doesn't have any proper art videos showing her sketch phase, and her streams usually start from already half-done art. And the third reason, she doesn't show any of the images she says she's referencing from, so it's likely traced or one-to-one referenced. So here we can see that even after starting to reference art, she would still attempt to make her own art, right? Trying to maybe mix it in with the AI assisted posts, but even then they were very noticeable, right? It's not like they just blended in effortlessly. Here's a drawing from November 19th, 2025, in which you can see a clear gap in skill compared to the one posted on December 1st, 2025, as if it was 2 different people. We already saw a
Yeah, they
second
don't
example
look
with
like
fan
by
art
the
for
same
whitewash,
person.
but there will be way more examples. I think
Stop.
the biggest difference here are the complex poses. She has a basic understanding of anatomy, but not complex enough to be able to draw something like this effortlessly. This is, of course, without us mentioning the incredible shading, right? The rendering here that is usually only seen with people who have been doing this for a very long time. What's even worse here is this comparison of these 2 drawings, which were both commissions on VGen, okay? Both of these were paid for. The first one, made in December 2024, looks to be somewhat her art style. It is a fairly simple drawing. The second one, though, made only 2 months afterwards, could have been AI assisted, most notably with the posing and the rendering, because it's not as flat as the first drawing. But worst of all, in all of this, is her deleted artworks. The document would say, after saying she was going to delete her heavy reference from AI artworks, she deleted these art pieces from her Twitter. And yeah, if you're watching this with your own 2 eyes and not doing chores right now, you can very clearly see the massive, staggering difference between this kind of art style and the ones we just saw above that involved her using her actual own 2 hands without referencing AI. And also bear in mind, according to the document, this first image that we already saw earlier with the fucked up fingers was a paid commission. Someone paid money for this. Someone paid money for Gami to generate an art piece using AI. This is when we get to the conclusion. I am positive that Gami still uses AI in her workflow, despite saying she regrets it and that she quit in August 2025. As you can see the document, she was still posting AI-assisted commission work on December 1st, 2025. I think the customers and her followers deserve to have transparency on her
Yeah?
workflow. Not everyone wants to buy AI art or AI-assisted art. I hope this becomes an opportunity for her to finally come clean and draw without using AI. Or if she continues using
You know these types of people. They're either not gonna come clean and continue doubling down, or downing even further than double, or they're only gonna be apologizing, and that's in quotes, because they got their ass caught
it, at least
and publicly shamed for it.
disclose it in her profiles and stop her activities on VGen where people come to buy human-made art. To Gami, I was quite happy to have a Turkish artist friend and I really wanted to believe you. Since the Turkish art community is already constantly in chaos, it felt really nice to have someone to talk to. But as time passed by, I realized you weren't being honest with me or with yourself. I'm normally not a person who writes docs like these, but I felt secondhand responsibility about this since I'm also Turkish, from the same community. I really hope you can come clean. That's right. You can do anything you want in your life, guys, but never mess with a Turkish person's sense of identity and national pride. Otherwise, you're going to have a Google Doc written about you. In any case, this document made things clear. Gami was not the person she was claiming that she actually was. She was very clearly using AI to assist in her work and sometimes tracing it one-to-one. Hell, I think sometimes she would just post it without really tracing anything. I mean, this Shy Lily drawing is crazy, bro. Like, there's no way she actually drew that when she was drawing things like this barely a year before.
Yeah.
But overall, of course, the biggest reason for this document having been made is because she was charging people money, both on Patreon and VGen, all while
Yeah.
promising human-made art.
Yeah.
Which is not the case here at all. But Ruru wasn't done yet. On February 19th, just a day after that initial doc happened.
Oh my god, that's where the second one comes in. Oh my god, it's where the second one comes in. What the fuck do you mean there's worse?
Dropped, they would reply to their quote.
Oh hell no.
Some people reached out to me to tell their experiences with Gami, including ghosting, hosting raffles but not drawing the winner, etc. Read here. This leads us to the second Google Doc, in which people who actually hired her or worked with her exposed the terrible client-to-vendor relationships that they experienced, starting with the first section, rushed commission followed by ghosting. VTuber Mochi Mochi have commissioned Gami on VGen after seeing her commission for another VTuber in September 2024. Mochi wanted a similar styled commission from her and commissioned Gami, but the piece she received didn't look similar in style to what she asked for and seemed rushed. So she was asking for something that looked like this, right? The drawing on the left, something with that same style and type of rendering. What she got on the right, I mean, can you even call this a...
What the fuck? You could put these two motherfucking images side by side to me. Do it without any context for where the fuck they're from, and you could absolutely convince the fuck out of me that these two are by two completely different artists. You could absolutely convince the fuck out of me that this is not the same person.
sketch? Like, this is incomplete as fuck. It also barely looks anything like...
What the fuck? Who is this white asshole? Who is this white asshole? That's a pinky. That's a pinky. Who is this white asshole?
Mochi's character. Mochi even bothered sketching what she wanted, how she wanted her character to look with her ears down. But this doesn't look like that at all. It looks like some sort of weird beanie. This is when Mochi would message Gami on VGen, saying, I have a question about my surprise delivery. I ordered it based off the image I saw posted on your Twitter. When I went to see mine today, I was very unhappy about the quality. Is there a reason why the two photos are both so different in quality? I also noticed her bottom right thigh forgot to be colored and right below her thigh bracelet. And yes, that's true. I mean, this wasn't even colored, dude. Gami would reply with, she had a very filled up design. That is why I had to pay more attention.
I had to pay more attention. That is why I did not color in the whole thigh.
My opinion is that I shaded yours more, but if you are unhappy with it, I can retouch on it later this week. This is when Mochi would say, I'm sorry, but I feel like this piece was rushed and not treated with the same care. I circled the part of the thigh where it is missing color, it's just white. The mochi and the ears also feel rushed. You can say you shaded mine more, but the thighs are not shaded at all. I'm just a bit upset.
Not shaded at all. Honey, they're not even colored in! They're not even colored in! You can't even say they're not shaded! They're not even colored in! Oh my god! I have never seen this sort of bullshit before. I have never seen someone be so fucking idiotic where they don't even color a whole ass forehead. Oh my god!
I was really looking forward to this piece. Thank you for offering to retouch it. I
Bruh.
really appreciate it. The document will continue. Unfortunately, after this point, Gami ghosted Mochi and the commission review period ended on VGen. Mochi didn't receive any touch-ups as promised or any updates. Mochi left a 1-star review. The document would also prove that Mochi actually paid for this commission, $45.
I'm gonna pass out. Oh my god. for a surprise sketch. $45 for a surprise sketch. Oh my god. If I was paid, I, if I was paid the equivalent of $45, for context, I go by British pounds. If I was given the, if I was, if someone commissioned me for anything that was the equivalent of $45, I don't care if it's a scab. I don't care. Surprise me. I don't care if it's a commission where I need to give communication. I am going to put so much care into that shit because it's the equivalent of $45. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Oh my god, my head. I can't even imagine something like that for me, bro. $45 for one commission?
For an incomplete sketch that doesn't even look passable. But I wish that's where it ended. Because the next
No.
section features a giveaway winner that didn't get their art. The document would say
No.
Gomi and a couple of other artists had made a studio called Mellow Studio back in 2023 June. Gomi was drawing, someone else was rigging the art, and they were offering VTuber assets, models, etc. Around January 2024, they created a chibi VTuber called Mellow Chibi. With Gomi's suggestion, they have made an art plus rig raffle for these chibi models to boost up their new product. Raffle was held on the 7th of January 2024. The winner didn't get their model for 10.
Not even like a single update. Like, I understand models, no matter what, they take some fucking time. All of the models I have gotten have taken time. Depending on the model type they are, depends on the time that we waited. But it was still some time, and we waited patiently. But you couldn't have at least given like a little update in those 10 fuck ass months?
So they decided to text on October 19th, 2024. The winner ended up not getting their art. After 1 year, they also didn't even get a reply from Gomi.
Bruh!
The rigger was very upset at Gomi for not providing the art since it was a collab raffle, so they stopped working with Gomi. Mellow Studio became inactive. The rigger also
Whoever Unknown is, I'm glad that they were also pissed off because I too would be pissed off.
reached out to the winner. So here we can see the DMs between the winner and Gomi.
But you gotta remember, there's a reason why that they completely ghosted, because you can't make good VTuber models of any kind when you're using AI bullshit. When shut up. When your entire art career relies on lying and using AI in any form of assistance for your artwork, and you host a VTuber model raffle, even if you're the one just doing the artwork, that's why you're going to ghost. Because you can't make an actually good VTuber model while relying on AI, because AI isn't going to generate you a good VTuber model in any form of way. Because it doesn't know how that works at all due to the intricate stuff related to it. So of course they ghosted and never responded for an entire fucking year.
They reached out in October after 10 months, and they were very polite, by the way. Hey, it's been a little bit, and I was wondering if this was still happening. If
A
not,
little bit. Honey, it's been 10 months. Oh, sorry, it's just been a little bit. Motherfucker, it's been 10 months! Holy shit!
it's okay. I just wanted to know. Smiley face. Gummy would say, it will be happening. Yes, I have you in my calendar. I have picked back school, so I've been quite busy. The winner would say, oh, that's okay. Take your time. I was just curious. Thank you so much. 5 months later, in March 2025,
Bro,
the winner
this
would reach
person
out
is so
again saying,
sweet.
hello, I just wanted to check in. I in no way want to bother you. I'm just curious about when we expect to get started. I recently had a design update, so I just wanted to check in. Again, no rush at all.
Motherfucker, this winner is so sweet. What the fuck? This, the person who won this VTuber model is so sweet. Bro, what the fuck?
I know you said I was on your calendar. I'm just curious. So obviously, very unprofessional and unacceptable. And as the document would say, the rigger would end up reaching out to the winner on Twitter saying, yo, Gami hasn't even started drawing your model. I reached out a couple times. She doesn't seem to really care. So instead, I'll draw it and rig it. The rigger would cut all contact with Gami, but Gami would then go ahead and continue hosting raffles anyway. That is crazy. Like, how shameless can you get? We would then see Gami's commission queue for VGen. This is her queue for pay.
Uh, I don't even need to check my queue. I know that there's 0. I know that my VGen queue for commissions has 0. I'm not even gonna check it to remind myself. I just fucking know that there's 0, man. I just know that there's 0. All of that money. And it's going to this bullshit person. It could be going to me. It should have been me! It should have been me. It should have been me. It should have been me. Bro, look at all this moolah. All of this money. Oh, oh, oh. All of this moolah. All of this money. Oh, oh my god. Oh, it's so delicious. One second, I'm having an existential crisis right now. Uh, uh, I'm used to just seeing 1. I'm used to just seeing 1 in my queue. 2 if I'm really, really feeling risky that time. Or lucky. But I'm just used to seeing 1 in my queue the entire time. Could you imagine this? Could you imagine? Oh, money, money, money for my disabled ass. All of this money. I'm sorry, I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. It freaks me out. I'm not used to seeing it for myself, so it freaks me out when I see it on other people. And then I freak out even more when they're just used to it. And I'm like, how are you used to this? How? Oh, oh my god. All of that money.
Commissions, right? I pay her money, she puts it in her queue, and this is where I can see the progress. There are commissions that have been there since October 2023.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god, I didn't even register it. Oh my god, there is. Oh my god. I was too busy looking at how many boxes there were. This one is 2023, this one's 2024, 2024, 2025, 2023, 23, 23, 23, 24, 25, 25, 25, 25, 23, 23, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and God knows what that one is underneath. How the fuck did they not get their Vegan account in some kind of danger already before that suspension? How the fuck? How?
that she hasn't even begun to work on. Oh my god, this just keeps getting worse. The next section would have yet another unsatisfied customer paying over.
I'm still shocked! 3 years! 3 years that one has been in the work in progress phase. Yeah, I'm completing my shit in a week because I don't want the people to wait that long. I'm like, boy, I'm getting this done as soon as fucking possible. You gave me money, I give it to you with utmost care but also fast. Because that's how we roll here. 3 fucking years in the work in progress stage. I'm sorry, is this bitch carving it out of real fucking gems?
For $1,000 just to get this VTuber model in 3 different outfits. On the third outfit, the client asked for thigh-high socks, and this is what they got. Some sort of a weird gradient, as if the model had like put her feet in some very hot water in a cartoon or something. It looks weird. And finally, just as you've been telling yourself, no, this can't get worse, right? She can't get more shameless than this. Well, the section's called Undelivered Models. During October 2024, Gami launched a project under their studio called Fawn Studio. How many studios did she make, man? This is a studio that
This is
makes
a
VTuber
scammer.
models and Gami is the artist. The project was called Fruit Gals, and it was an audition-based VTuber model giveaway with some rules. So look, this was structured in a way to resemble VTuber agencies where you audition, and if you're accepted, you get a VTuber model. You wouldn't get a salary, but you'd keep all your donations, and you'd be part of a group. But if you decide to leave, you obviously can't keep the
Yeah.
model. It's owned by the studio. One of the girls that auditioned and got accepted would reach out to Ruru and would talk about how she and the other girls were completely and entirely misled. So essentially, Gami would be posting these updates, right, of these different models that she was drawing up, and they were very excited. But then at some point, the updates would just stop, and Gami would stop.
Yeah, they would stop because AI can't make a functioning fucking model. And anyway, it was a scam.
Communicating consistently, leaving all the members in the dark for months. Here we can see one of the girls deciding to reach out to raise her concerns on behalf of everyone else in the group, saying, "Hey Gami, I'm sending this message on behalf of me and the girls, and I would like to say that we are all tired of unresponsiveness, lack of communication, broken promises, and lack of care." It was actually a very considerate message, with this person even saying, "I hope what you take out of this will be, don't bite off more than you can chew." It genuinely came from a good place, but more importantly, one thing she would say is, "We'd have understood if the models had taken a month to finish, but it has now been 8 months."
What the
The
fuck?
document would specify the reason why they're saying we would have understood if the models had taken a month to finish, but it has now been 8 months, is because Fawn Studio had posted that they can finish and deliver models in around a week. That is insane, by the way. Okay, if you want a custom drawn model that is rigged and ready to go, you need months, man. There's no one in the world.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
That can do this in a week. After this message, both Gami and the rigger involved with the studio would respond. They would both somewhat say the same thing, so let's just read what Gami had to say.
And I can confirm. I have a friend who made a fully rigged. I have a friend who one time made a fully rigged VTuber model adoptable. And I believe it has been long sold, but oh my god, it took them forever, mainly due to the rigging phase because of the fact of the design mainly being skeletal related, but also it just took them forever mainly due to the rigging phase because it was so fucking time consuming. but also due to the amount of detail on the model. It just took them fucking forever. It was, oh my god.
I apologize for the lack of communication on my end. I'm very overworked and I do my best on keeping up with everything.
Uh-huh.
Art is my only income, so I have to keep working most of the time.
Uh-huh.
That being said, I have finished 3 of the models and already have sent them over to Blank, which is the rigger. I'm not blaming her in this since she also has her own commissions that she has to work on. Please do keep in mind that Food Gals is a passion project on my end. I do not gain anything from making you models. I understand you, I really do, but I'm booked until September and I'm drawing constantly. For the last model also, I have started drawing her. I don't usually have the time to just sit down for days and work only on one thing since I have commissions that hit me constantly. I was hoping to finish her later this month since I'm done with my year for school. Nobody lied about anything. I told you guys from the start that I would do my best and I'm doing so.
Nobody lied about anything. Motherfucker, there was nothing to lie about. You didn't talk for 8 months.
Still, I'm sorry that you guys felt not cared for. I never wanted this. All I wanted was to be able to help you guys grow and make content the way you guys wish to make. The document would then say, but after this, again, there were no updates. A couple months later, on August 1st, 2025, we'd see 2 messages from both girls separately saying, hey, I'm out. Okay, this is clearly not happening. I don't want to do this anymore. And Gami wouldn't even bother replying.
Bruh.
So look, by now, this wasn't just about AI anymore. This was about Gami being a bad person to work with, very badly treating some of her clients, and having this habit of empty promises, of doing these giveaways that she never honored. At this point, she was officially a compulsive liar in the eyes of the community. There was nothing she could say that would make anyone believe her. This is when her viral post saying that maybe I make ugly drawings, but at least I don't use AI would get community noted, and the community
At least I don't use AI. Well, about that, but also, even more, about that, you're just a shitty person.
community note would just straight up say, Gami uses AI for her drawings. Like, just straight up, no bullshit. She uses AI. Shut the fuck up. Linking Ruru's initial Twitter post and the first Google document we went through, obliterating her reputation, her career, her online presence in just one sentence. Very few community notes can compare to the savagery here. But of course, you might be wondering, what about Gami herself? Does she have a response? I mean, she clearly saw that she got community noted very humiliatingly. What did she have to say? And how did it manage to make things worse somehow? Gami would post this on her Twitter on February 20th, 2026, one day after the second Google Doc had dropped, saying, I have done a speed paint to address the AI allegations. This was done completely live on Twitch with a full display screen showing my entire process. The link to the VOD is down below. I'm aware of the other things being said and everything will be addressed soon. There's a lot to go over and I want to make sure I address everything. This has been a lot to take in, so I thank you for your patience. The top reply here that almost ratioed her would say, no one is denying you can draw. You draw very well. The thing is, none of this is reflected on these. And it's scummy to say you are against AI when admitting to have been making drawings very heavily AI referenced. Just say in your profile you use AI as part of your process. Additionally, even during her stream, it would be clear that she was using AI references to draw the thighs. You can see this right here. This was on her own monitor. It didn't help. If anything, it only made things worse. Facing even more backlash after that disastrous stream, Gami would quote tweet the second document that Ruru had written and would say, sorry for the wait, linking her own Google Doc.
How much do you want to bet it's a full of bullshit?
The shortest Google Docs I have seen in my life.
Oh my god, it's so short! It's so short! It's just all of this. Everything on my screen, it's just that. It's so tiny. Look at this tiny little penis.
It could have very easily been a tweet, but she would say, I'm sorry for taking this long to address all of this. I had some time to myself and had to calm down before I made a statement on the matters at hand.
I had to calm down from being exposed this badly twice. 2 Google Docies in a row.
I would like to start by apologizing to all my clients that feel wronged by me using AI as reference for their artworks. I'll be transparent in my art processes going forward and have clear communication with my clients to make sure they're satisfied with the commissions they will be getting.
I'll be transparent in my art process going forward. Honey, your entire goddamn VGen profile is gone. I don't think you can be transparent anymore with those.
If any of my current ongoing commissions that have paid for their commissions want their funds refunded, I'll be refunding your funds. Also,
Motherfucker. One is from 2023. I don't even think it's possible anymore.
So if any of my commissioners want their progress recorded for full transparency, if it means they will feel more secure about their commission, that's where the sentence ends. That's literally where the sentence ends. Like there's
What?
literally a fucking period at the end. Okay, well, English is not her first language, but hey, at least we can be sure she didn't use ChatGPT. Okay, she actually wrote this herself. She would then say in parentheses, I will also be posting them on YouTube as an unlisted playlist, so there will be a record of all the work I will be doing. This is not an excuse. I've been really busy with real life stuff in school, and some of my work has been rushed because of this. I've been very irresponsible with my scheduling and will be getting help on my scheduling moving forward. I'm also thankful for people who have patiently waited for their commissions. I'm sorry it took as long
Patiently waiting for their commissions since 2023.
as it did for me to get them done.
I'm not
Sorry
letting
for
that go.
disappointing everyone, and I promise to do better. moving
2023.
forward. So look, not only was this response
So tiny. It's barely scraping half the page. Look at this tiny peepee. Ain't no shame to tiny peepees. No shame. I love me a tiny peepee. But look at this.
grammatically a disaster, it was a disaster in and of itself. It didn't address anything. It was very vague, and I mean, you don't have to listen to me say this. Ruru said it themselves, replying to her post, ratioing her, and saying, you didn't address the raffle winner or the past clients who purchased
Yeah,
AI-assisted work.
they referenced nothing. They said nothing. Reference nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
Without knowing. If rebuilding trust is the goal, taking full accountability is the first step to do that. I believe those situations should be acknowledged and reframed.
But English is not my first language. Shut your bitch ass up for 5 seconds. I don't give a fuck if English is not your first language. You can still do this. You can still acknowledge shit, even if it's not your first language. So shut your bitch ass up with that excuse. Go on. English is not my first language. Shut your bitch ass up. Come on. Write it down, honey. Or do you know you can't because you're not going to? Oh. Chad.
It properly as well. That's a very good point. What about the raffle winners? What about the people that you gave empty promises to? What's ironic here is that she wasn't quote tweeting the first document, she was quote tweeting the other document.
Yeah, which makes it even more funnier.
With clients, with the raffle winners. I mean, honestly, at this point,
The irony. The fucking irony. Let me quote retweet the Google Docie that's talking about my horrible communication skills and ghosting and being practically a horrible person to work with in general, no matter the topic, and give a Google Docie of my own. That's basically showing that's true. The irony.
deleting your account would have been better than putting this Google Doc out to the public.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? 100,000 views and barely any interaction. People were done with this. They had already made up their minds. The
Yeah.
proof was there, and there was nothing she could do except take accountability, and she failed to do even that. On the original quote tweet that Ruru had made, with the initial document exposing Gomi, you'd see many people in the replies pretty much disowning her, right? They might have come across her fan art, they might have liked it before, they might have interacted with her, but now this was over. This is not someone they wanted anything to do with. After this whole debacle, Gomi would continue posting on her Twitter. And yes, it does seem like she's not using AI. It does seem like it was, drawn actually by her, but the trust is lost. No accountability means no forgiveness. It's going to be very hard for her to build back up what she already had. This is especially considering that her VGen got suspended. She can't take commissions anymore, and she's essentially lost the fan base that she had taken years to build. Look, I can't predict the future. I don't know where we'll be years from now, and I don't know whether there will be a day where society will actually accept AI as a whole. However, if you want to use AI as reference, or hell, as very heavy inspiration to your art, at least specify that. At least be honest about that. If someone's willing to pay for that, then hey, good on them. It's their money. They can do whatever they want with it. But don't pretend to be someone you're not, because that's just what a scammer does. And you don't want to be labeled as a scammer, because if you are, you end up like Gomi. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you want to see actual amazing art that is not AI assisted in any way, featuring my character, as well as exclusive videos posted every month, then make sure to check out my Stacked page. Link in the description and the pinned comment. Prices start at $1. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, and I love you so much. Platonically. Take care. Mwah.
wait, I need to read this. Ew, imagine being an AI loser. Anyway, here's a prompt to generate a big booty puppy girl. Yes, queen. Oh my god, this bitch is crazy. This chick crazy. Oh, I'm glad she's been suspended though, but like this chick crazy. Holy shit, this chick batshit insane.